Good afternoon. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day off. I know that with everything, the school closings, as I said in the announcements, I would give more additional information regarding the remainder of the semester, regarding your finals. Once a determination has been made, obviously it has, and as you know, we are finishing the semester out online. Good thing for you guys is we were already positioned to transition easily. The only thing that is really different is that everything will be online. I will do lectures online, but honestly, we only had like 3 weeks left, and so it's going to be fine. I did want to bring to your attention that, as I had stated in the announcements, there is a discussion forum that I have opened up. It is a pinned discussion. It is not in one of your modules. If you look to the left on that bar where you would click on modules and quizzes and all that stuff, there's one for discussions. If you click on that, you will be able to see that discussion thread. That is for you. And again, that's another way to help promote class discussion. If you have questions after lecture, you can post them there, and that way the whole class can benefit from the answers. It could be that you're asking a question, and a fellow student knows the answer, and they can put that in, and that's fine. And if it's right, I'll probably will just say, yes, I'm in agreement with that, just to kind of reiterate that. But this really is for you guys regarding anything. So I really want to talk about, what it's going to look like for the rest of this semester. I'm probably going to have to do a couple videos this week. But today I want to talk about your final projects. You are still doing a group project, and what that looks like, it's going to look a little bit different because you're now going to be videotaping it. So each of you need to get in contact with your group and make sure, because I did not have everybody that said that they had read that announcement, which means some of you guys have some team members that have not read the announcement, and so they need to make sure that they are working this week and you're continuing to move forward. Okay, what will happen again is you're going to videotape your part of the discussion, and then you are going to send that to the person who is going to mesh all that together, and they will submit one project. They will submit it in a discussion board format. And the reason is so we are able to access that information, and that you'll have people that can ask questions on it, which means that you need to answer the questions that are being asked. Each of you will be given the rubric as if you were in class, and you're going to fill that out, and you're going to email that to me through the assignment board. Okay, and you will do that for every person that is doing that piece of their project. What you will do, and this is also, I'd already told you want to think about the person who's going to be submitting in, final things and who's going to be in charge of what. You definitely want to make sure your technology person knows how to mesh those 3 pieces together in one fluid presentation, and so they can submit that. You are still only going to submit one proposal, but it will be submitted online, and I will only be accepting it from the main person, but I will be grading it, and you will have the grades reflected in your grade book. So you're still submitting one proposal that will have who did what in it. So really where it's going to affect everything is that of how you are presenting it. Some of you're like, yay, it's on, I just have to videotape myself so I don't have to stand in row people. Some of you, could have the opposite reaction, but that's okay. I would like for you, though, this is where you may not like it, you have to still do your portion in front of someone. So, and I'm going to have all this written out, by the way, but I just wanted to, it was easier for me just to verbally go through this. So what will happen is when you get your piece ready, which means you're going to have to create your visual behind you for that piece that you're doing, and then before you start your presentation, you're going to have to show who's sitting in the room, so I know that you're doing this in front of someone. You are still going to have to be in business dress because you are still doing a proposal. And I mean, think of it this way, especially with what's going on, and that's why we're not in school. How many businesses are actually doing that? This is how they're conducting business. And I can promise you they're not in their pajamas trying to pitch whatever it is that they're trying to sell in their pajamas. So make sure that you still are in business dress, because I am still looking at that as well. So I know that in the past, what I did is I created a PowerPoint, and I'd had, it displayed behind me. If you are having challenges with that, let me know. And it also, I would prefer I need to see you present. So, but if you're having challenges with that and being able to have the visual behind you, let me know. And then we can process through that. It could be that you are having someone videotape and you are using maybe your computer screen. They would just need to zoom in on the computer screen as you're going through that. I had one of those mini projectors that I could hook up my laptop to, and I just got a sheet and I hung it behind me, and I was able to do it that way. So please don't stress over that. We can process through that. That could be one of the things that we talk about on the discussion board if you're having challenges with that. I do believe that everyone can really benefit from that. So if you're having those concerns, please do so. Again, I want to address about the whole online thing. You guys have already proven to me that you're time managers. I've already created this class. You have been meeting deadlines. That's not going to change. The only thing that's going to really change for you is the fact you now are definitely going to have discussion boards every week for the remainder, and that your final project, you just have to videotape it and submit it in electronically. Also, what you will do on that piece of it is whomever is meshing that together, you're going to download it to YouTube, and you're going to give me a YouTube link. So because YouTube is able to really support that length. Okay. And so I will be giving you, it's still going to meet the same requirements that we had in class. But again, I will define that out for you. But please do not worry. I've done this, honestly, I hope you're not stressing about it. If you are, put that in the discussion. We'll talk about that as well. But I think that you guys are going to do fine. You've already been set up for success. You've already established the work habits that are needed in order to be successful in an online environment. So I hope that helps clarify. As far as your due date is concerned, instead of the projects all being split up between 2 weeks, you're going to submit them in 1 week. I'm trying to work out what would be best. I'm thinking it's going to be that last week that I'd had paced out for the projects anyway, and then that way, that week before, you guys can really work together as a team remotely to make sure that everybody has their pieces and parts. That's kind of where I'm playing with it now, but it would be due on a Monday of that next week. It would not be due on a Sunday because I need to have that week to review. Also, because you are going to be posting that into a discussion board, I need people to be able to respond to it. And so it gives people that week in order to do that. And also to fill out those other things that I needed you to fill out and get all that information in so I can get your final grades in on time. So I hope that that's helpful. I'm going to end this video here, and then I'm going to have a second one that's going to be coming out, and that is going to talk about your annotated bibliographies. I may end up creating a PowerPoint on that one so I can do some copy and pasting and give you guys some visuals on that. Again, if you have any questions, please just post them to the discussion board. Also, if you are a team lead and you are watching this, please make sure that everyone in your team has commented on the announcements, that they have read and they've understood what we're doing. Okay, so I'm actually going to put that into your hands. I need for you guys to do that and make sure that they're aware that they have things that they need to be doing for this week. And I will be uploading a quiz on the material that we're going to be covering this week. So I hope that you guys are still working towards, actually I'll go ahead and do that now. You guys should be working on your sources. I hope that you found them because I told you to be doing that over spring break. Remember that you are writing annotated bibliographies this week. You can't do the annotated bibliography. It's not a summary of the whole book. You're going to, or whatever source that you're using. You need to take notes. What is applicable to your topic? Once you have your notes, then you write a summary of what you extracted from that source. That's your annotated bibliography. It is an APA. which means I need a cover sheet. I need a cover page. Some of you, we are still having issues on format. I need you guys to clean that up. And I'm taking more points. It's more weighted, the points that I'm taking off because of format, because we are on the second half. And so I need you to be really paying attention to detail on that. I need you to go back into your old assignments. What have I been commenting on? Fix it. That it's a good thing that everything's online, and for some it could be a curse, because that means I can go back and I know what I've edited you on. So, and if I've seen that you consistently either do not have a running header or it's formatted incorrectly, I'm going to take off additional points. Your reference page, if it has been consistently formatted incorrectly, we're going to have a problem. That's a paying attention to detail. Your projects have got to be consistent all the way through, from the cover page to the reference page. So please make sure that you're paying attention to detail on that. What is that going to look like on your final project? Again, you're going to have to, you're probably going to be sending in all your resource or your sources into your team person, and then they will create the reference page, just because they're the ones who are putting everything together. Now, I realize that many of you are going over 6 sources. So I do need to make sure that I am very clear on this. Each person in your team will be submitting an annotated bibliography on 2 sources that pertain to their piece of this presentation. There are no duplicates. I do not want to see more than 1 source utilized in those annotated bibliographies. So each of you have to find 2 unique sources that deal with your portion of the presentation, and you will be doing an annotated bibliography on that. I'm only asking for 2 per person. Obviously, depending on what your topic is, and a lot of you guys have big topics, so there's lots of sources. I'm only asking for 2. That does not mean you're hemmed into 6 for this project. Definitely go above it, but for your annotated bibliography, I need to make sure that you know how to do an annotated bibliography, that you understand the purpose of it. Again, the purpose of the annotated bibliography is for, and I do read them, that I know that you've extracted some quality information from this source and what it pertains to. Okay? It is in a strict double space. Now, this will look a little different. You can have a cover page. Page 2, you're going to have the bibliography. And again, they have to be in order. Remember, they are in alphabetical order, in correct format. So you'll have your bibliography with your hanging indent, hit enter, tab, and then you're writing your paragraph. If you would like to add, this is the only time I'm going to do this because I find that I like it a little bit better, a space in between your bibliography and the summary, I think that looks better, and I'm okay with that. If not, and you want to keep it a strict double space because this has been a challenge area for you, then do it. That's fine. But if you have that additional space, I'm okay with that. Please make sure that you indent the paragraph of your summary. Also, paragraph, word choice, phrasing, that matters. This is a writing assignment still. So please make sure that you are indenting your paragraph. Each paragraph has one main idea. If everything is one main idea and it's just a paragraph, and typically your annotated bibliography, it is. But you still have to write it in a manner that reflects academia or professionalism. Please watch your punctuation, spelling, word choices. I want to see academic words and that they're used correctly. Okay? So basically this is only going to end, even though you have the... Actually, on this particular instance, because the bibliography is in the annotation, I do not need a reference page. So it's really only going to be a 2-page document. Your cover page and then your annotation. Actually, no, I'm going to change that. I'm sorry. I do want a reference page because some of you guys are still having challenges in creating one. I'm sorry about that. So please, so it will be your cover page, your annotated bibliography, and a reference page with those 2 sources on it, formatted correctly. Some of you guys need to go back. Either you look. I've given you a picture of what one looks like. So please do that. Make sure that you are capitalizing correctly. Remember, in APA, it's only the first word that's capitalized. The rest is lowercase. Utilize your managed sources. and make sure that you filled in all the pieces. I also remember you need a medium. I need to know if it was print or web. Okay, so I hope that that helps. You guys are going to have a quiz this week on the 2 chapters. And this information, honestly, is not new. At all. It was what chapter? So you're chapter 6 and 7. Six, how to develop a thesis. You definitely need to know what a thesis is. Again, this is not new. And what are the components? What is it? What makes it up? What's a working thesis? Definitely need to know that. You do need to know the different models. There's 4 models for developing a working thesis, and you definitely want to know what they are and really what's their purpose. Remember, when they're bringing these things to your attention, sometimes it's what to do, and it's also some things to be mindful of what not to do. But you do need to know the differences with that. Context for a thesis. Pretty much any of your bolded words, you want to know what that is. Yeah, they've got a lot of great stuff. What I may do is I'm going to come back and actually get into more detail with this. Again, a lot of this is not new. Finding and evaluating sources. I hope that you read this as you were looking for your sources. Remember, the textbook is not just a separate entity. I am teaching out of the textbook. Every chapter that I'm doing matches up to what we're doing in class, and I do this so you have an additional resource. You definitely want to look on page 167, table 7.1. It talks about an abstract. You need to know the standard resources for conducting research. And you will see abstract, bibliographies, biography, book review. You need to know all of this. And it goes on to 168, so you definitely want to know all those pieces and parts. And really, what is their purpose, and what types of information fall underneath of those, because that is very important as well. Consult experts. You need to know who they are. Popular and scholarly sources. You definitely want to look at table 7.2 on page 171. Searching for sources. We've talked about that. That's actually what we've been doing all year when you're going into those academic search engines. So you already know that. Evaluating. We've already talked about that. Reading the abstract, table of contents. What's the purpose? You guys are going to be creating a table of contents, by the way, for this proposal, which I've already told you. But it talks about evaluating each one of those. You definitely need to read through this. I certainly hope that you guys have not waited, okay? And that you did at least look at it or address it while you were over spring break. I get it that this is online, and time management is really going to be huge for you guys. You're at home. You can work at your own pace when you're submitting, just as long as you're meeting your deadlines. Please do not wait till the last minute. I know that it can be difficult. Go to a room that's quiet, where you don't have a lot of distractions. Do not have the TV on. Do not have video games next to you. Please set yourself up for success and make sure that you're doing this. Remember that, yes, even though I'm grading you individually, I still have to grade you as a team. So please don't let your team down. Please make sure that you're meeting your deadlines. Please make sure that you guys are on constant communication with one another. It is so very, very important. I am here to assist you, clarify any questions that you may have. It could be that maybe if you guys have a lot of questions, and maybe I need to make another video to kind of address some of those, I will be more than happy to do that. But you have to come to the table and bring something to it, okay? And so just know that you're not walking this alone. I still am here with you. even though I'm through a computer. So, but as you know, you are always welcome to email me anytime using the discussion board, that open discussion board. Please utilize that. And the more that we're able to communicate as an academic community, the better we will be off. You do not make assumptions. If it's something big and you really need to make sure you're doing it correctly, I expect you to communicate with me, okay? Because you want to hear it from the horse's mouth. You want to hear it from me, okay? So you guys have a wonderful day, and I just see success everywhere, and so you guys are going to do fabulous. Stay home, be safe. Please make good choices. Please do not be out and about. Do not put yourself in situations where you can get this nasty virus or spread it onto someone else. So just thinking about you guys and just excited for the rest of the semester. I'm looking forward to these final projects because I know you're going to do fabulous. So you guys have a great day. Bye.